order. It is 6:05 in the evening. Is anybody, as everybody knows, or some people know, Bobby is not here. Our chairman is not here this week. He's away, so I'll be chairing the meeting. So we'll be good to each other. Public session. Do we have anybody for public session?
No one submitted, Madam Chair.
Okay. Ruff, I don't know, something's in the way. Can you read that piece from me regarding the city charter?
Absolutely. It's just what we always put on our agenda since we've been going virtual. Pursuant to New York City Charter, a portion of each community board meeting is set aside for the purpose of hearing comments from the general public. Individuals wishing to take advantage of this opportunity are asked to register 48 hours in advance by emailing Bronx Community Board 2 at brxcb2@oxonline.net with their name, organization, telephone number, email address, and topic of discussion.
And for the record, we do not have anybody for the public session today.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's just our disclaimer, when it comes to because technically the general full board meeting requires a public session. So no one has reached out to us for it. So we can move on.
So we'll move on. Okay, Commander's officers report. Who do we have available? I hear it's Sergeant Guglielmo.
Yes, I don't know if the sergeant is on yet. I don't see his number.
I didn't see him either.
So I'm sure he's about to get on.
They were busy. They were distributing food earlier. So we can move on then to roll call, and then we'll come back to him. So roll call.
Okay, bear with me.
Yvonne is on.
Yvonne, can you see the roll call?
I can't see the roll call because I'm calling you from my phone.
Come upstairs.
I can't see you from my phone right now. My service is kind of crazy. Will someone be able to do the roll call for me?
Hold on, I see it. Can anybody hear me?
Yes,
You.
we can hear you.
Good evening, it's Thalia.
Hi,
Oh.
Talia.
How is everyone?
Can you see me?
Hi, Reverend Moses.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm here.
Okay, thank you, Reverend Moses. So, Madam Chair, how would you want to proceed with this? I'm sorry.
I
I
can't.
see it.
Okay, so can you read them out? I can barely see it.
Yes. Okay, we started roll call. Velvis Alston Jr.
Here.
Evelyn Ruiz. I apologize if I mispronounce anyone's name.
Araúz.
Araú. Okay, Evelyn. Love Bantercourt.
Present.
Miles Bennett.
Here.
Luis Castillo. Luis
I'm sorry.
Castillo.
Everybody put their phones or their laptops, whatever they're using. It's very hard to hear.
It's Reverend Moses. You need to mute yourself, please.
Okay, let me get this done. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, continue.
Hold on. Okay, so wait a minute, because my screen had. Hold on, give me a second.
I'll take it from here. Paula Fields Conyers. Stephanie Cordero. Robert Crespo is excused. Altagracia Cruz. Myself, Julia Cruz. Is that Sandra De Jesus? I could see half of the name. Kevin Ellison. Sandra Ferguson.
Here.
She's here, yeah.
I can see the last name. Gomez.
Pascual Gomez.
Pascual Gomez.
Present.
McCoy Greg.
Chatoria McCoy Greg.
Maria's here.
Alexandra Guadalupe. Yvonne Guillen.
She's on the phone.
I'm here.
Desi Harris. Shaquan Hunt. Jennifer Kelman, Jeffrey Korn,
Here.
LaShawn Lindsay,
Here.
Talia Simone Lindquist,
Here.
Barbara Lopez, Roland Lopez,
Here.
Nicholas Mario, Luis Marrero, Cedric McCullough, McCluster. I was trying to get it out. Monique Minutes,
Hello.
I'm here.
Hello.
Altagracia Cruz is on.
Yes, thank you.
Reverend Moses.
He's on. He just muted himself.
Okay, Lynette Olmo. I saw Lynette.
And that is here
Lynette-
twice, so she's
yeah,
just
Lyn-
having connection issues, but she's
And,
here.
and Barbara just got on.
Lynette.
here.
Okay. Okay. So, Maggie Ortiz,
She's
Here.
on.
Larry Robinson,
Here.
Richard Sherman,
Here.
Lee Tavares,
Here.
Maria Torres,
Here.
Mary Roten, and Judo, Reverend Okan.
Puro Ukon.
Yeah, I can't see them.
Here.
Reverend John is here. So, Madam Chair,
So-
from my count, we have 23 board members present. So
24. We have 24.
24, okay, so quorum is established.
Okay, thank you all, and thank you for your patience.
And Guglielmo's on.
Are you on now?
I'm sorry, say that again?
No, Sergeant Guglielmo's on.
Oh, okay.
I'm on. Sorry, I was having technical difficulties. It kept telling me it was full. I thought you guys were kicking me out.
We were.
On, we
Just hold on, Sergeant. Can you, everyone mute themselves, please? Because if not, I'm gonna have to mute you. There's just a lot of background noise unnecessarily. Thank you.
Kevin, can you mute? Okay. Okay, Sergeant, you're on. We did roll call while we were waiting for you.
I'm sorry,
Awesome. You
Jennifer's
guys are ready
also
for the
on,
stats?
okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cynthia, yo estoy aquí.
Barbara and Allison
I'm
are
sorry.
on.
Well, we're gonna have to mute people. Sergeant, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, so you're on.
I'm on. Good afternoon, everybody. Captain Shublin sends his regards. He couldn't be on the phone call right now because we have he's got a conference call with One Police Plaza in regards to the uptick that we've had. We've had a little bit of an uptick in shootings in the area, and I'll go over that later on. So for the 28-day stats that we have going on right now, we're down in rapes. We're up a slight bit in robberies, 16%. Felony assaults, we're up 30%. We're down in burglaries, almost 40%, which is a great number. We're down in grand larcenies about 7%. Grand larcenies of autos, we're still taking a little bit of a spike from last year. Once again, I sound like a broken record, but that's leaving the keys in the vehicle with the car unattended. That being said, we've had a slight increase, obviously, in the shootings. We took a shooting on 163 in Kelly that most of you know about. So what Captain Shublin and I have decided to do is we beefed up our presence on Kelly. We actually have fixer posts now. We have 3 different steady fixer posts. Westchester and Kelly, 163 in Kelly, and on the bottom of Kelly and Intervale. So they're going to be out there. I mean, listen, it's I was on the service cabinet meeting with the chairman last week, and I'll say it again for those of you who weren't on that call, but basically it's a confluence of events. I mean, it was the lifting of the restrictions, the nice weather, and the fact that people have been hunkered down and basically barricaded for a year now, and now people are back out on the street, more people are hanging out. So like I said, we're beefing up our presence in the neighborhood. We have 3 different fixer posts in that area, so we're hoping that that will quell the violence in that area. You guys
Is
there?
that
Did I
it?
lose you?
Is that it, Sergeant?
Yeah, so that's it. So I don't know if anybody has any questions, Mr. Chairman. I don't know if you have any questions.
Well, it's Madam Chair today.
And is
Oh,
Mr.
That's right.
District
That's right.
Manager?
Bobby's
Yeah.
right. That's right. I'm sorry, Madam Chair. I apologize. I'm used to yelling at Bobby. That's what it is. So.
I forgive you.
Any,
I have a
any
senior that was.
questions?
Yes, I have one. I have a comment. I have a senior that was literally beat up. An 80-year-old was beat up, and it looks like it's teenagers that are doing these things in groups of 4 or 5. I have to say, after the initial response, I was not getting a response. I called 911 repeatedly. I was not getting a response. But after that initial response, I've had officers visiting, and I have to really give props and commend Officer Sokola. She has visited this gentleman maybe once, twice a week, and he's adopted her as a granddaughter, which is wonderful. And they have a relationship, and he feels protected. He feels safe. It shouldn't have happened to him, but I'm glad that at least this outcome, and Officer Sokola has been an angel, has been coming over, and thank God for that. I couldn't make him feel, safe, but she's able to. And another thing, she's bringing us food, boxes of food, which I really needed. Today she carried about 35 boxes of food for my seniors. So I really, really appreciate that. And I wanted to make sure that everybody hears how much I'm thanking her and how grateful I am to the 411 for what they're doing. And thank you for those posts set up.
Well, I'm very happy to hear.
Mhm.
I'm very happy to hear that that the senior does feel like we're showing him some attention. I must apologize. So what happened was, when the incident had happened, and the district manager, Ralph Acevedo, knows, because I keep him updated weekly, also Bobby Crespo, the chairman. We were that was when the spat of violence was really coming down, and we were taking shootings. There were quite a bit of shootings. We had 165 fail. There were a couple of different, we had 1020 Westchester. There were a couple of shootings going on at that time. So the spike in violence coincided with that elderly gentleman being assaulted. We are investigating that case. I'm glad to hear that Officer Scorsi is the best in the business. I would love to give her a raise. We're trying to get her a gold shield. She deserves to be a detective, but I'm glad she always steps up. She's our girl. Our go-to community affairs gal in the Bronx, and she definitely goes above and beyond. So I am glad to hear that, and I appreciate that Sokola did reach out.
Hey,
And she
Sergeant.
continues, which is good. Talia, you have a question?
No, this is Roland Lopez. Can I?
Roland, how are you, sir?
Okay, how you doing? I
I'm good.
have
I'm good.
a
What do you
house here, a brownstone here, and we've had problems. I was a detective for 20 years. What the negative that I have to tell you is these young guys riding these electric bikes, motorcycles, without plates, without insurance, on the sidewalks. I saw them that they picked a fight with one of the motorists at a light. It's getting bad. And I talked to a couple of cops in the 4-1, and they told me a lot of the stuff is because you have qualified immunity. Some of the cops are not addressing this issue, and they're selling these bikes all over 3rd Avenue. And I think what they should do is, before you buy one of these motorcycles, electric bikes, is have proof of insurance and some kind of license, because it's really going to get hot. So anything being done on that, with that.
So yes, we have. Listen, the illegal motorbike issue is citywide. It's not just in the 41st precinct. I can tell you.
That's for sure.
It's absolutely citywide. We have implemented in the 41st precinct. We have implemented every weekend. I can't tell you the day and the time because obviously it's kind of proprietary. But every weekend we are instituting a motorbike initiative, and I can tell you that we're also arresting people for fake paper plates because technically
That's
those
good.
fake paper plates, the car is unregistered. So I'm happy to
Exactly.
report last Sunday, Sergeant Jose Rosa, who's the traffic sergeant in the 401 precinct, last Sunday affected 14 arrests. We took 13 vehicles. We made 14 arrests. The weekend before that, if you go back to our Twitter feed, I think it was about 2 weeks before that, Captain Schublin, myself, and Lieutenant Sanchez did a motorbike operation where we actually took 13 motorbikes off the streets of New York City. So we are definitely combating that issue. The other problem that we're having is the places that are actually selling these motorbikes. So we're looking to crack down on that. I actually was out there today. I had a couple of meetings today, and I actually drove around. There's another spot on Westchester Avenue, which I'm going to talk to the district manager about offline. There's another spot that's selling. Now, e-bikes are one thing. E-bikes are legal. They're allowed to have those on the street.
Yes,
Anything
right.
gas-powered is not supposed to be on the street. So we are
Exactly.
actively enforcing that. That is not something that we're not enforcing. I don't know who you spoke to about the qualified immunity. Listen, at the end of the day, we're not politicians. We're cops. We work with the
You're
tools
right.
that the city gives us. The tools that I have in my toolbox, we're not going to stop enforcing crimes because they change the laws. We're going to do our thing. We just have to modulate and figure out a different way to go about it. But we are affecting arrests. In total, we've made over 30 arrests in the last 4 weeks in regards to paper plates, unlicensed, unregistered vehicles, and the motorbikes. And we've sequestered 13 illegal dirt bikes off the streets of New York City. Like I said, you can go to the 401 precinct Twitter feed and you can see the picture of everyone's motorcycle that was taken that day. And I take great pride in taking those illegal bikes off the street.
Well, I'm glad, Sergeant. Thank you for the work that you're doing.
You got it.
Thank you.
I want to say something.
Okay, it has to be quick because we also have the precinct council that a lot of these things could be better addressed there. So one more and then we have to move on.
Okay, that's my time.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. By Roland said about the motorcycle, I agree on that because last week they started in Manhattan to take all the bike from the street because they can take the people out of the bike and arrest them. So they have to get in somewhere, and that's the way they can and pick it out. Even they give you $100 bonus to the one calling and say, oh, over here is a bike, and they can pick it out. That's in Manhattan. I don't know if you're going to store in here when. The other thing I want to say, and the all cars, they know. It's true what I'm going to say. I thank you to 45th Precinct, Mr. Captain Jeremy, Captain Crunch, the other guy with the white shirt, the one that go next to the captain, and the other one, and all the regular police, they doing a good job in Kelly. Because I was with them all these days when other things happen, every side, anywhere. And Intervale, Kelly, and the other side, Kelly, and Westchester, Kelly, that's a lot of things going on. Even the lot of people from the community, they don't doing nothing because I don't see nobody around there all this time.
Okay.
And you know
Okay,
what
there are
they
three-
say? Espérate. Look at what they support. You know how they, let me finish. Let me finish.
There
Let
are
me
three.
finish. I don't finish yet.
Okay, we have to move along. There are 3 posts that are set
Yeah,
up.
pero the other
and-
thing, no, another thing is, I want to give you medal to the 41st precinct because you know
Okay.
how the way the lot of people talk back today, and I have to be in the middle and say that's not the way you have to respect because a lot of the people they curse and they treat and they like a bon de la calle, and that's the thing that we have to fix in that because that's not the way they have to talk to nobody, and they have to respect the uniform. If you want to
Yeah, we
demand your
have to
right,
respect
you
each
have to
other.
demand the right. No, but
Yeah,
I
we
said,
have to
we
respect each other.
We talking as a community, and I said it because I try and they know I try to do it the most I can. But I want to see the people they supposed to be in the side to help the community is to try to get
Okay,
close
we
to
have
other
to move
people.
along.
No me Samara.
Yeah,
Okay,
please.
thank you. We have to move along. First of all, I
Okay.
have to apologize on behalf of the community board. It's Captain Schublin. Okay, sorry, that was a little, to me, I don't appreciate it.
is Captain Shublin. So everybody, please refer to the captain by his proper name. It's respect, and it's his name. So thank you very much. Thank you, Sergeant, for the wonderful report, and thank you all for what you're trying to do. We appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam
All right,
Chair,
we're going-
started the roll call. We're up to the adoption of minutes, but
Adoption of
point of reference, we're in the business section now, and it's for board members. So just want to acknowledge that. So the adoption of the minutes, which was the meeting, last month's meeting.
Oh, okay. And we don't get written minutes, so
Well, the meetings are all virtual. They're all available on social media. We have a YouTube page. All of the committee and the full board meetings are there, and they're open to the public. So I'm sure if board members had a good chance to see it, and if not, you can always go back to any of the meetings. They're all on our YouTube page, and the YouTube page is simply Bronx Community Board 2.
okay. And for those that attended, let's take a vote on the adoption of the minutes. Those who got a chance to see it. I did. Anybody make a motion?
I'm second.
Who made a motion?
Altagracia.
I second it, Roland Lopez.
Beautiful. Okay. Chairman's report. As you know, he's on vacation.
We need to do a vote. We need to do a vote for the adoption.
Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor? Let's just do the opposed. Anybody oppose the adoption of the minutes? Any abstention? Okay, thank you. Now we can move on to the chairman's report. He's on vacation, as we all know. Was there something, Ralph, that we needed to mention regarding the chairman's report?
Yeah, just at an executive committee. We'll go over it, the vote, and so we have it on the agenda. That was the one item that we have for the chairman.
Okay, so then we'll move on to your report, and we'll take care of it during the agenda.
Yes, I'll be as fast as possible. Good evening, everyone. Good to see a lot of board members here present. Thank you. I know the weather's cooperating for now, but it shouldn't be in a little bit. My report is very quick. I'm encouraging people to come to the ECHO meeting. I know Maria's going to run a great meeting, but we're planning to have State DOT present to talk about the Hunts Point phase on the Sheridan and the construction that's going on. It's causing a tremendous backlog of vehicles and traffic, and the traffic patterns are always changing. We're going to have them come on in our ECHO meeting. So I encourage everyone to attend so they can hear directly from State DOT what's going on there, because that's a state project that is not city DOT. And just been following up with city DOT with the safety improvements that are occurring in the district. Lots of changes are going to be happening also. And I'm trying to make sure that they're not happening simultaneously. So I actually just did a walkthrough with Councilmember Salamanca and Assemblymember Kenny Burgos earlier this week with the Commissioner Navarro Lopez, and it was a productive meeting. So lots going on with the traffic, and we're trying to address it as much as possible from the community board. So that's mainly it for my report. The office is open. There's someone there 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. The building is still closed. There's still no in-person meetings. We're still following the governor's executive order on that. And that's about it. I know there's announcements. We have a big street co-naming this week on Friday at Kelly and St. John's for Al Quinones, who was a former board member and like the founder of 52 Park and items all related to 52 for Progress, Friends of 52 Park, and so forth like that. That should be very, very exciting and fun. And I encourage everyone to participate. And Madam Chair, that will conclude the district manager's report.
Thank you, District Manager Ralph Acevedo. Very good.
Cynthia has her hand raised.
Yeah, I just want to thank Maggie for always being available to me. So I just want to really thank Maggie.
Good. Thank you, Maggie. Also, we want to also thank the 41st Precinct for their vigilancy around Bill Rainey Park.
Yes.
Lots going on over there. And even, including St. Vincent de Paul everything around related to Kelly and 163rd Street. You know, that's been a hot area in our district, and they've been doing their best they can. So I just want to, give a shout out to the 41st Precinct and thank you so much for their work. Madam Chair, that concludes my report.
Thank you all, and thank you for all the work you're doing. It's very admirable. Really appreciate it. Alexis is here from the borough president. Is there a report?
Yeah, yes, she has a report, and please, everyone, just make sure that they leave their information in the chat because that's the way we're documenting everything. Thank you.
And please mute yourself. That way we can hear.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope that you're all doing well. The latest Borough President's report was sent out 2 weeks ago with like updated COVID sites and information. So anyone who has not received it, please let me know. As far as reappointments, letters will be coming out shortly to board members. And if anyone has any questions for me, please feel free to ask in the chat or you can email me. I'm going to place all of that information down below. Thank you.
Thank you. That was quick. And please be safe. Thank you for all you do. Okay, elected officials.
Oh, the elected officials, remember they're on a time constraint.
Yes, we're on each.
All
So
right.
Larry, you need to mute yourself, Larry, please. You need to mute yourself. And for the elected
Senator Sepulveda on.
Yeah, we have the senator up. I think we're gonna go. Madam Chair is up to what's the
I'm ready to
order?
start when you're ready.
well, let's do the elected officials that are physically here first, because I know some don't want to lose them. So I know the state senator was here. State Senator Sepulveda, you still here?
I'm still here.
Okay. The
Thank you
floor
so
is
much.
yours. You're very welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Ralph. How's the baby doing?
Senator, thank you so much. The baby's doing great. Thank you for asking.
Great to know. So quickly, because I know I'm on a time constraint, a couple of things that happened in the Senate this week. But one of the bills that I'm proposing, that I think it could be helpful to some of the complaints about the bike lanes and the city bike locations. I proposed a bill 6929 that's going to give the community boards and the community more say on how these bike lanes are established and where the bike racks are put, because I know that not only this board, but other boards complain about the number of parking spaces that are eliminated overnight and how that's causing a problem in the community. So the law that I'm proposing with Representative Jackson as my assembly sponsor, we hope to get it out before the end of session. I understood someone asking for giving out food. We gave out anywhere between 600 and 1,000 boxes of food at the Banknote Building last week. We're going to continue to give anywhere between 500 and 1,000 boxes almost every week. We'll post it on social media where the locations are, but our goal is to continue to feed the community because we know that we still need a lot of help. Another bill that I passed that has to do with criminal justice is a law that if you are a victim of revenge porn, you're not defined as a victim of a sexual offense. And so I'm passing a law now that will characterize anyone who engages in revenge porn as a sexual offender. It's important because we get a lot of complaints about that, especially from women in our community. The other thing that I want to put everyone on notice about is that for the first time since 2006, the New York State Homes and Community Renewal is opening up its Section 8 wait list for New York City residents. You have until Friday, the 28th, to make sure that you apply. There's certain requirements. If you need information about what requirements and qualifications you need, please call my office and leave it in the chat. My staff will respond. The eviction moratorium was extended until August 31st. If you are concerned about getting evicted, let us know right away. There is a moratorium. There is a hardship form that the landlord has to provide. We sent out about 25,000 of them about a month ago so that people have it just in case. So make sure that if you're getting evicted and you're concerned, you can come to our office and we're ready to help. Also, the COVID-19 Emergency Rental Assistance Program, CRAP, will begin taking applications by May 21st. This is the assistance for people who have suffered economically because of COVID and need assistance in paying their rent. If you fall in that category, you will get 12 months of rental arrears and 3 months of prospective arrears once the pandemic is considered essentially we've been released from the restrictions of the pandemic. So if anybody needs assistance with that, again, we can help you out. The positivity rate in the Bronx is improving. We're at 0.74. We're still higher than most of the city, but we're getting better. We're still higher. We still lag behind the rest of the counties in terms of vaccinations, but we continue to work that. My office has now successfully helped vaccinate over 2,000 people in the district. We're now going to foot traffic areas because people no longer want to come to the providers. We have to take it to them. And so we want to do that. On Sunday, May 23rd, I'm working on Thursday, tomorrow, May 27th, at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. in partnership with Catholic Charities and Home Base at PS 333. We're giving out hundreds of diapers. Diapers, believe it or not, are one of the most expensive items that families need. There is a requirement for eligibility. So if you want to know prior, you can call my office or you can leave it on the chat and we'll assist you in any way that we can. A reminder that anyone 12 to 17 can now receive the Pfizer vaccine, and all city-run pop-up sites are accepting walk-ins for anyone above the age 16 or above. I'm also happy to announce that on June 1st, we are opening up for in-person visits my constituent service office at 900 Rogers Place. We're happy to see people. My constituent service office is the busiest constituent service office in the entire state of New York. We get anywhere between 35 and 55 people that come in per day. I have a great staff that works diligently on behalf of the community. So if you need assistance, please give us an opportunity to help you. We're happy to do so. Thank you all. I'll take any questions. If not, thank you for the opportunity to address the board.
Thank you so much, State Senator.
Thank you.
We also, thank you for all you do and stay safe. We also have Kenny Burgos on. Kenny, are you on?
I think that's his rep, and I know I see his chief of staff, I think, is on also with us, so.
Hi, good evening. Oh, I'm on, it comes up of his name, but no, he's not into
All right, can we just hold on because.
Okay, so we hold on. We thought he was here, so let's go down the list now.
And remember, 2 minutes, everyone is getting 2 minutes.
And I'm gonna keep time. State Senator Biaggi's rep, is anybody here?
Hello, everyone. This is Emily Vasquez from State Senator Biaggi's office. I hope everyone is well. Senator Sepulveda stole most of my announcement, but I'm going to just echo it. Section 8 is open for the first time since 2006. I'll drop the link in the chat below. Our office is helping folks out fill out the application if they need help. The New York State Emergency Rental Assistance Program, we just got word that it opens on June 1st at 9 a.m. And if anyone else needs emergency assistance for rent, they can reach out to our office and we'll also help them with that application. Again, it opens June 1st and it's only open until the funds finish. Lastly, the senator was at Hunts Point on Friday. We were at a rally that we held with the Bronx Jewish Climate Action Network and the Point CDC to rally for climate justice. So that's all. I left my information in the chat, and I'll leave it again in case anyone missed it, along with the links that I mentioned.
Thank you, Emily, and thank you for all you do. Stay safe. I know Maritza is here, but is Councilman Salamanca here? Okay, Maritza, you're on.
Well, if we're going down the list, we have, I don't know if anyone's from Assembly Member Septimos.
Oh, I skipped it. Yeah, I told you my eyes are not that great.
There's no one here from Septimos team, so we can move on.
Okay, so Maritza, you're on.
Thank you. I don't have much announcement, just the same thing that we're still doing the COVID testing weekly at our office tomorrow from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Self-swab. We've been doing a lot of distribution throughout that district. You just have to follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook. And if you have any questions, my information is in the chat. You could send me an email, call me, or you could, if you have any questions, you could send it in the chat. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Maritza, and thank you. I've reached out to you for different things, and I appreciate your help. Thank you so much, and thank the councilman for us.
You're welcome. I'll let him know. Thank you.
Councilmember Ayala's office, is anybody here?
I don't see no one.
Okay, anybody here from city planning?
Yeah, Justin is here. I don't know if Justin wants to say a few words. 2 minutes.
Sure. Hi, this is Justin Lamorella from Department of City Planning in the Bronx office. Yeah, no huge update. We do have several zoning text amendments that some of you may have heard of. And I've briefed the Housing Committee on one of them and then talked to the Executive Committee about them as well. So happy to answer any questions about them as questions arise, and hopefully get to talk to you a little bit more about them over the coming month as well. But that's it.
Great. Okay, and now we're up to Assembly Member Kenny Burgos, representative.
Good night, everyone. I'm Monica Mathon, and we are assisting our constituents with the rent assisting. We also doing the Section 8 application lottery. We've been doing it since last week. It ends on the 28th, so we are open from Monday to Friday. We was doing it by appointments, but it's just a couple, it's like more people, so we open for the whole week. And we have been also doing food distributions around our area, and that's what we've been doing. We open Monday to Friday, so if anyone needs assistance, give me a call, email me, and thank you.
Well, we thank you and stay safe. Assembly Member Jackson, is there a representative here?
I don't see none, but I just want to acknowledge that Assemblymember Jackson was at our Executive Committee meeting. And I so I just want to acknowledge that.
Okay, thank you. She was at the meeting, you're right. Congressman Richie Torres, any representative here? Okay. Comptroller's representative, Comptroller's office?
I don't see Mariel nor Anderson, so we can, I guess, move on.
Okay, anybody from the Department of Health?
I do see Anita Reyes on. I don't know if she has any updates on her end.
Anita, you have anything to update us on?
All right, she just turned on her camera. I don't know if she's on. She's mute. If you hear us, Anita, you're on mute, so we can't hear you. Oh, her mic isn't working according to the chat. So I'm sure she could just share stuff with us on the chat, if anything, Anita. Thank you.
Sorry about that, Anita. Anybody from the Public Advocate Williams office? And we have the full one, unless they want to add anything at this point.
I'm doing all right.
Ale, can you mute yourself? Anybody from I'm getting a lot of echo.
Yes, Talia,
Anybody
mute yourself, Talia, please. Thank you.
Anybody from sanitation? Anybody from FDNY? Anybody from District Attorney's office?
Yes.
Yeah, Christina's here. Hi, Christina.
Hello.
Hi,
Hey,
Christina.
Julia. So a
Hi.
announcements. I'm gonna try to make this under 2 minutes. It's like short right here. Okay, so hi everyone. This is Cristina Calderon from the Office of the Bronx District Attorney, Community Engagement Coordinator. As you all may know, June kicks off Gun Violence Awareness Month, and to kick off Violence Awareness Day on June 4th, we'll be hosting a march and a resource fair within the confines of the 52nd Precinct, starting on 183rd and ending on 196th. Our crime prevention coordinator, Carlos Torres, is also attending the meeting. He's dropping that information in the chat as we speak. Also, to end off Gun Violence Awareness Month, we will be ending with a gun buyback program within the confines of the neighboring 40th Precinct. As soon as we have the flyer for that, we're waiting for NYPD on that. As soon as we have the flyer, I will disseminate all of that information And just thank you to the community board for sharing our information, our events with the community. Thank you guys so much. And if you have any issues with crime, you're a victim of crime, please reach out to our Crime Victims Assistance Unit at 718-590-2115. Thank you.
Christina, I know Ray Ponte recently had a death in the family.
Renee Aponte.
Yes, I was just going to mention that.
Renee Ponte.
Thank you to everyone who reached out to him. He expressed in a general email that he is very grateful for that. And thank you for all of those that reached out to me to contact to him.
Yes, Christine, I need to say something. Hello, Madam Chairman.
Yes, love.
Madam Chair. Thank you.
Yes, you're breaking up. Go ahead.
Helping out my senior homeowner. I appreciate that very much. You got it?
Thank you so much. And I just want to say and thank you for that, love. Just want to say also, if you know a victim of crime and is looking, maybe they haven't heard back from a follow-up from a lawyer or anything, we do help with constituent service. We have a civilian complaint unit within our office. Many people may not know that. And so we're the direct link, the community affairs unit, as well as the team. We're the direct link to get to that unit. So if you need any out at 718-590-2272, or you can email me with the details of that and I will forward it to an ADA who will get back to you. You can reach out directly to me. You can share my email. Many of you have my number. You can share that number as well.
I'm glad you brought that up. Very good. It's helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank
you. Can you put your information in the chat, please?
I did, and I will re-put it in.
Thank you. Thank you, Christina. Madam Chair, I just want to let you know that we were joined.
Salamanca's on.
Yeah, joined by Councilmember Salamanca. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Councilman Salamanca, would you like to say something?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Welcome. Hi.
All right.
Yes,
Good
we
evening,
can hear you.
everyone.
Hello.
As well. I'm going to be extremely brief because I'm going to try to stay under 2 minutes. Just first thing on this Friday, we're going to do a street co-naming for Al Quinones. For those of you that know Al Quinones, he was the founding member of 52 Peoples of Progress at the playground, and Al passed maybe 2 years ago. And we are going to honor Al this Friday at 52 Playground at 11 a.m. The event should take no more than 45 minutes. Then we're going to look for the corner of
Mr. Chairman, council member, can you hold on a moment because there's a lot of background noise. Everyone, please mute yourselves. I would appreciate it. Thank you. If not, I'm going to have to mute you. I'm sorry, council member.
So this Friday at 11 a.m., we're going to honor Al Quinones, the founder of 52 Playground. We're going to start with the program at 11 a.m. at 52 Playground, the amphitheater. And then we're going to walk over to Avenue St. John and Kelly Street and do the unveiling of Al Quinones Way. And then finally, next week, Thursday at 3 p.m., I'm going to...
We lost the audio.
Ralph, wait.
Council member, we lost your audio there.
Do you hear me? Can you
Yes,
hear me
now we can hear you. Now we can hear
Okay, so look, this Friday, 11 a.m., 52 Playground, we're going to honor Al Quinones and do a street co-naming for him. It's going to start at the amphitheater and then go to Avenue St. John and Kelly Street. And then next week, Thursday at 7 p.m. at 52 Playground, we're going to have a movie night. And I'm just, asking the community to come out and support. And that's it for my report. Thank you so much and God bless.
Send me a flyer.
I submitted a flyer. You have a flyer for Friday. We will get you a flyer for next week, Thursday, by the end of the week.
Thank you so much, Councilman. Thank you, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Yes, thumbs up to you.
Stay safe.
Okay, I don't see anyone from the Department of Aging on, Madam Chair. I don't see Josue. I don't know if there's anyone else from DIFCA, but if not, that will conclude the elected officials report.
Okay, so let's move on with the agenda.
I'm
So,
sorry, is this Adrian Felton from the Attorney General's office? I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, Adrian. You've always been here, Miss Felton. Thank you.
Yeah. How you doing, guys? Thank you for having me, Madam Chair and District Manager. Again, my name is Adrian Felton, and I represent Letitia James, the New York State Attorney General. I don't want to keep you guys long. I just want to give you a few updates. We know that it is now election time, and we do have emergency hotline where any voter, even starting from early voting, which is June 12th to June 20th, and actually on election day, you can call us if you feel that your vote is being stifled, if you don't know where to vote, if you feel that you're being intimidated in any way. If you have a question, a legal question, we will have, as long as the polls are open, we will have on-call attorneys and specialists for you guys to vote. I am actually in my car, so forgive me. So I'm gonna try to put something in the chat. I've been sitting here. Let me try to give you a little look. I'm in the car. So you guys can go to our website, which is ad.ny.gov for that information. I just wanted to let you know. And I also wanted to share that sadly, a lot of our seniors have been getting scammed in record numbers. And that's because of COVID. A lot of us are relying on the internet, to even shop. So we are doing smart senior presentations, and if you guys would like for me to do one for you, I would be more than happy. If you are connected to other constituencies and you would like for me to do a virtual one because everyone's not vaccinated, still not safe, I'll be more than happy to do it. If you guys want me, you can give my information out because Rob, you have it, even though it's not in this chat right now. The presentation is a PowerPoint presentation, and it takes about anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes. And we also have Q&A. It's really good. It gives helpful hints on how our seniors can protect themselves. A lot of times they don't report it because they're embarrassed, and also they don't want people to think that they don't have all their faculties and that they can't manage themselves. So they won't tell us. So it's critically important that we let them know that we're here for them and that we're here to protect them. And if you guys hear of anyone that's been scammed or any fraud, please call me and we'll do our best to get on top of it. Thank you so much, and I appreciate the time.
Thank you, Ms. Felton. Apologies for
much. And that's wonderful information. Because all of a sudden seniors are being targeted and it's growing in numbers. So I do thank you. Stay safe.
Madam
Just to let you guys know, lastly, in your zip code of your community board, the numbers are slightly higher. Just to let you know.
Okay, that's
I believe it.
Thank you, Ms. Felton.
you
I'm
so
sure to
much.
follow up with you. Possibly we can shrink that that presentation. Maybe we can have it at a committee meeting, because I have follow-up might be too long. And if not, we can try to do something, but I appreciate your time. Madam Chair, I just want to let you know that Anita Reyes is now available. And I also see that Brian Palenko is on from the Public Advocate's Office. I don't know if you want to go back into elected officials or if you just want to move on with the agenda.
Let's hear both of them because we're doing good on time. So let's hear both of them. Anita?
Hi, good evening, everyone, and sorry about the technical issues. I just want to update you on a couple of things. As you all heard, the Bronx continues to be at the lowest rates of vaccination. And so we do know that our Latino communities and Black communities, they're lagging behind the white community. So we have to work together. We continue to work with the key stakeholders in the community who are trusted entities to please share the information. I want to also mention to you that we're opening up different sites. We're currently at the Bronx Museum. We're there from Mondays through Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and we're offering Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson. We want to make sure that people have options wherever they go. We have a lot of pop-ups that are happening. We have a mobile vaccine bus that's traveling around the Bronx because we do want to address the low numbers. So I want to say to everyone to please, it's important to share your stories if you've been vaccinated, because people do depend on our stories in order to get vaccinated. They want to hear what happened to you to see if they want to do it. So I just want to say, if you need any information, please feel free to look at the website of the health department. Feel free to contact me. I'm happy to give you more information or presentations, whatever the community needs. So thank you.
Anita, I do have one for you. Have you heard about people selling the cards? I heard from someone they came to me and told me they're selling them on Southern Boulevard. Have you heard anything about that?
Yes, so I got a report, and of course I elevated it that they're selling the cards. And I think that they're trying to sell cards for $100 and telling people that they're entering them in the system. And so to tell you the truth, no one can enter them in the system unless people have vaccinated them. And so they have to write down their lot number and all that. What I'm encouraging you all is, if you see something, please notify me, because it's not fair to the people who are paying $150 and they're giving them a false document. So yes, I am hearing about it, and we're elevating this, you know, and trying to work on how to address it.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair, we're also joined by Jose Rodriguez from Council Member Ayala's office, but I know Brian is also on. I just want to acknowledge that.
Okay, Brian came first, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Brian?
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to make this really brief. My name is Brian Polanco. I'm from the Office of the Public Advocate. I'm the Bronx point person. My office is still conducting remote constituent services. To contact our constituent services department, you have to contact 212-669-7250. Again, that's 212-669-7250. And the email for that is gethelp@advocate.nyc.gov. Again, gethelp@advocate.nyc.gov. One update I have for you all is that HRA has come in contact with us for a beautification project where they're trying to look for community partners, where essentially they're trying to offer jobs of $20 minimum per hour. So Ralph, when that's finalized, I'm going to be following up with you on that. But outside of that, I don't really have much to say. I know we're brief on time, so thank you all for the opportunity to speak.
Brian, thank you so much for that. Just shoot me an email with the information, and I'll make sure we blast it out.
I got you, man. I got you.
Thank you, Brian. Good hearing from you, too.
Thank you, Brian. Jose, you're next. Jose Rodriguez?
Madam Chair, we're also joined by Victor Martinez from Congressman Richie Torres' office that just got on. So.
Okay, Jose is not responding, so let's go to Richie.
Wait, he's trying.
All right.
Unmute yourself, Jose.
We'll just go back to him then.
Go back to him.
And then we'll go to Victor. Victor,
you're on.
Hi, everyone. This is Victor Martinez from the Office of Congressmember Richie Torres. Good to be here. I have a couple of announcements. One of them is that you remember that we spoke about the child tax credit a few months ago. So parents that they already filed for their taxes, they're going to start receiving the payments on July 15. So if you have any questions or any concerns, you can contact to our office and we can help with the process. If you didn't file this year, you can file next year and then you will get the child tax credit. If the child tax credit this year, it was expanded. So people are going to receive like a monthly payment of up to $300 per child each month. The other thing is that the Congress member, he did a press conference with Senator Chuck Schumer related to NYCHA, and they're fighting for $80 billion for public housing for this to be part of the infrastructure bill. And again, like our office, we are open, but by appointment yet. Feel free, I'm going to add all the information in the chat. Feel free to call to our office and as well to contact us for any concerns.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you, Victor. Stay safe, Victor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jose, are you on now? Can you hear us? Can we hear you?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're coming in up, but we got you, Jose.
I know
Good
that
evening.
my system here is horrible at the office. You know what? Since the system is messed up, I'll just put information in the chat. Thank you very much.
We can hear you though. I can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll just put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat. Thanks.
Thank you, Jose, for coming on, though. Thank you so much for that. Madam Chair, I think that's it. The elected officials, we might get joined later on by more elected officials, and I will acknowledge them if they do get on.
Thank you so much. Now we move on to committee reports. Maria?
And everyone else, please mute yourself because there's a lot of background noise. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do this real quick because my dogs are barking at the window. There's something out there at the same time. But economic development, we met. We had on here it has that we had state DOT did not come. They'll be coming to June. We had city DOT, and that one was just to discuss it. It's not a full program. We're still going to. The committee wants to do the walkthrough of what they were presenting. There's still a lot of questions because there's a bit too many parking spots that were being taken. So that was just something they were proposing. It's not a done deal. We can still give feedback. So hopefully they will accept that. And then the next thing was Parks is going to be having, along with Casita Maria, we'll have like a public art project that'll be at Monsignor del Valle. So you guys got to keep an eye out. That'll be for the months of June through September. It's kind of going to be really cool artwork that'll be on display there. So everybody, please, when you go by, take a look. And then there was also a request for a street co-naming, but we needed more information. So they will be coming back next meeting in June. So really that was about it for our committee. And again, next committee meeting will be jam-packed. We'll have state DOT, MTA, the street co-namings, and all that stuff. So we're saving it for June. See you then, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Maria, for all you do, and thank you for heading that committee the way you do. Next is Yvonne Guillen.
Yvonne, are you on?
I'm here. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good evening.
Okay, so I'll be very brief. Sorry, guys, for the background noise. We had a really great education meeting. We had Johanna de Jesus from the Peninsula come by and talk to us about the current state of the Peninsula, what's going on in terms of programming, the funding that they're looking for, also how they are looking for more kids for their center. And they spoke about a little bit about the project and their new site at La Peninsula, the new Peninsula development. And we also talked about a little bit about the breakfast of the school. So for June, I am working on a plan right now to bring to the education meeting for June so we could like discuss it and land on details for the upcoming school year. So similar to what we did 2 years ago, where we gathered our schools from our local community, charter, private, and public. We kind of want to do something similar again for the upcoming school year in September. So we're working out those details. So yeah, thank you.
Madam Chair, I just want to also acknowledge that Joanne is with us on, here, Joanne de Jesus. So thank you, Joanne, for being a part of the meeting tonight.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I have 2 little kids getting them ready for bed.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and be safe.
You're welcome.
Okay, next is the franchise licensing and permits. Pastor John?
Yes, I'm turning on my phone. Please, Mr. Raff, can you help me out?
Absolutely. So, Madam Chair, I'm just going to go down the agenda here.
Sure, please do so.
So item number 1 is to review a new application for Don Chili located at 801 Southern Boulevard. They were applying for a full liquor license, beer, wine, and cider. They have recorded music. There's no outdoor permit for this location. The committee made a motion to send a letter of objection to the State Liquor Authority. So that's where we at now. So there is a motion to send a letter of objection to the State Liquor Authority. And I do see Madam Chair and Mr. Chair, someone from Don Chili is on with us now. but, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Who are you talking to me?
Oh, we're talking to Reverend John. Are you still with us?
Yes, I'm with you. Yes.
So that's the first item. So there is a motion on the table, I guess, for a letter of objection to 8017 Boulevard.
Reverend John, the committee made a motion to send a letter of objection to the SLA. Is that correct?
Yes. Do I have any other member of the committee?
Yes, Barbara is on with you also, and it was just you and Barbara at that committee.
Okay. So Barbara, please, can you make a motion?
Yes,
Move the motion.
Well, the motion was made. We need someone to second it here. If someone is going to second it, and then we'll
I'll
go.
second it.
Who's that?
Jennifer.
Oh,
Jennifer Cummins seconds the motion. So we're in discussion now of this motion.
Can I ask why are we doing that?
Okay. We have issues with the establishment. In the first place, we had received a report that they were selling liquor without a license, and a committee member actually went there and saw that they were actually selling without a license, and we gave them an opportunity to address the situation by letting the captain take a look at the cameras, which they told us that they have cameras. By the time the captain went there, they found that there is no camera. The cameras are not working. And they also refused to come back before the committee. So we had to address the situation by making a motion to deny them.
Okay, we have several issues here. Let me understand this, Mr. Chairman. We have that there were witness and there were reports that they're selling liquor without a license. We have that their cameras are not working. And I'm sorry?
I was there for that. One person said she saw this with her eyes. We asked her if the establishment was serving the alcohol or did the pardon have the alcohol inside. I don't think that question was ever clear because, I understood the concern. I recently have been visiting that place, to see if I see these things myself and haven't seen any of that. So we just wanted to know if the establishment served the alcohol or if the people who came there, served the alcohol to themselves. That was
we also
Guglielmo, Sergeant Guglielmo actually went after our meeting and they said they could not give him video footage because it was not working.
So that was my second point. They have cameras that are not working, so that's also a big red flag. And in addition to that, they were invited to a meeting and they did not show up. That's where we're at right now.
Madam Chair, this is Bobby Crespo.
I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, this is Bobby Crespo. And first, I want to thank you for covering the meeting for me. And I want you to continue covering the meeting because you do it faster than I do. But
wow, don't say that. People are going to hate me for that.
But let me just say, it wasn't just one meeting. It was actually two meetings that we asked them to come into, and they and they did not show up for either one of those two meetings. In one of them, they showed up late after the agenda was almost done, and we just didn't have any time because other issues took time. So that is why I believe the committee. I was part of the meeting. And that is why the committee voted to reject this application at the time.
Madam Chair, we have Maggie with her hand raised.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vacationing Chairman. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, Maggie.
Maggie?
Also, she lied to Sergeant Guglielmo because she told Guglielmo, you could come see the cameras, and if we see drinking, we'll revoke your license. She said that she could come see the cameras, and when he got there, the cameras wasn't working, so she lied. Basically.
Okay.
All right, I'm good. I just want to know why we would deny this. I'm good. I'm with it.
So there is a motion, and it was, I don't know if it was second.
I second the motion.
So, okay, so it's second. We had the discussion, and I guess we can go into the vote now.
Okay. Anybody, I'm just, anybody, be all muted, please. Okay. Anybody opposed us sending a letter of objection? Is anybody opposing that? Any abstention?
Yeah,
Miles.
Roland Lopez, abstention.
Okay,
Jesse
we have-
Harris. Jesse Harris, abstention.
Miles Burnett, abstention.
So we have 3 abstentions.
Yes, 3 abstentions.
And no-
nobody objected to it.
Excuse me.
Is there any reason
Hello?
for the abstention?
Hello?
We hear you,
Oh.
Altagracia. Go ahead.
Okay. So that call that you making now is so if you extension or you say no or you say yes to send them the letter to put it up, everything is up.
Well, because, Altagracia, because we're doing
No,
it.
I want you to explain to me. No, I want you to explain to me like I'm gonna know what I'm gonna say.
Okay. If you do not want us to send the letter of objection, then it's no. Don't send it. I'm not saying-
I say if you're supposed don't give you the license, don't believe that because that's a bullshit. They have to
And watch the language. You got to watch the
Watch
language.
the language.
Okay. I will not tolerate that. Do not talk to me that way, and do not talk to the committee members that way.
No. Excuse me. I say
respectful.
No. I say if I say no or I abstain, what's that mean? That's what don't send them. Don't give you the license to those people. I say no, and I say abstain. What's that mean? That's what I want you to
Okay,
explain
let's
to
move
me.
on. We're doing the vote now. Let's move on.
So there was
Yeah,
3.
but I
There was
want to know
no.
how I can vote.
Well,
That's
there
what
was
I asking you.
the motion is to write a letter of objection. So there were 3 people abstaining and no objections.
She
what-
wants to understand what abstention is. That's
The
all.
letter
it
of
is.
objection is to write a letter that when we're opposing their request for the application for their license.
No, Ralph, hold on, Cynthia, let me help him out. Ralph, what Altagracia is asking, right? Altagracia, if you abstain, that means you don't have a vote, yes or no. You don't vote one way or the other. That's what abstention means, honey. If you deny or you say no, that means you don't want it to send. If you say yes, that means that you want it to send. Do you understand?
Okay. Yes, eso mismo.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's move on then. Thank you. So
Okay.
So
Chairman,
three
you had a question. I think you had a question. I was listening to you. Reverend?
Yes, I was asking those abstaining. Is anybody abstaining with any reason?
Does there have to be?
Miles is abstaining.
Yeah, because Monique, you have to understand
Yeah.
people
The
who
chairman
abstain.
is asking if the chairman is asking why there was what's the reason, then yes.
So people abstain, Monique, with religious beliefs and things like that. So you can always abstain. You have to explain why. So it could be like religious, personal, something like that.
All right, so if you just wanted to abstain because that's something that you didn't want to be a part of, you have that right, right?
Of course.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You can abstain, yes, but if the chairman is asking for a reason, then you want to know why. But you have every right to vote.
You don't know how to
turn it down.
Let's have some
how we want to vote.
committee. Hold on. Let's have respect for the chairman and his committee. He asked the question, the people that abstain, do you want to give a reason?
Sure, this is Jesse Harrison. My reason is I don't quite understand. We don't have concrete evidence that, the persons who were serving the liquor were a part of the establishment. That's the first thing that bothers me. So it's just unclear. So, I think we should table it and then do further investigating and possibly bring it back at a later meeting.
Well, Jesse, this was tabled already twice. This was
okay.
Reason because
They have been invited.
encouraged the police to go over there, and the police came back with their report, and that was at the second meeting. So this, yeah.
Like the chairman, the vacationing chairman said, they have been invited several times, and several times they have not showed up. So how many times do we invite them before we actually do this? So I think it's time to do it.
Okay.
And Madam Chair, can I also add that if the board does not take any action, the liquor authority can go ahead and approve a license for them.
Right, we're aware of that.
We're aware.
So
Okay, did you want
we're gonna move
another?
on.
There were two more that abstained. Do you want their reason so we can move on to the next
I'll
one?
give you my reason, Roland Lopez. I agree with Jesse, and we have a right to abstain, and I'm giving the respect to the chair. But I go along with Jesse on that. Thank you.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you, Roland.
Thank you.
Miles is abstaining because I abstain on all FLP votes because I work as the executive director of the
That's
BID,
right.
which works with businesses. It's just a conflict of interest. Thank you.
Thank you, Miles. Okay,
Okay.
Reverend.
Let's move on then. We're gonna go to item number 2. Review of new application of Patrona Mexican Cantina Corp. located at 5587 Boulevard. They're applying for a full license. They'll have recorded music. The establishment will have a full food menu, no outdoor permit. And this is a transfer license from La Espiga Tri Estrella. And this was actually tabled. And if I'm not mistaken, it was tabled because there was not enough information, very similar to what Jesse and Roland are saying. So the committee decided to table this to June's meeting.
Okay.
Number 3, letter
Number
of
three.
no objection to the New York City Taxi Limousine Commission for a long car service, a non-emergency medical transportation taxi base transporting medical patients not limited to dialysis, COVID tests, and vaccinations. The committee voted to approve this letter with a stipulation: a long car service is not to be a nuisance to the area. Their drivers are not to double park. So the motion was made at the committee. We need someone to second this motion now.
Do we have a second?
I'm second.
Second.
Okay, we got Talia. Talia was the first one, and now, Madam Chair, we'll go into discussion if there is any discussion.
Any discussion on this?
Ralph, what was the company's name? I'm sorry.
A long car service.
How long
I
have
don't
they
know if
been,
there's anyone here.
how long have they been on the, how long have they been in Community Board 2?
They only moved in a couple of months ago to this location.
So they, did the committee ask? that
Yes, these
company-
questions were asked at the committee, Mr. Chair.
The question that I'm asking is, was there a request made by the committee that one of their members be a board member or committee member to the FLP?
Yes.
So this way,
Yes,
and
Chair.
did they
Yes, that was
comply?
that.
Did they comply?
Well, the motion has to pass here first, but they said they will at the committee. They agreed to that, yes.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Thank you, Bobby. Any other discussion? And we have a second?
Yes,
So we'll
it
take
was.
a vote.
Can Talia second it?
Okay, so we'll take a vote. Anybody objects to this?
I object. Bobby Crespo objects.
Larry Robinson, Bobby Crespo.
Are there any abstentions?
Miles.
Thank you, Miles. Okay, so we're done. We're done.
Maggie abstains also.
Okay, so we have 2 abstentions and 2 opposed.
Yeah, so the motion passes.
Passes. Okay, thank you. Number 4.
Number 4, discussion with Pedro Ruiz regarding 7887 Boulevard and the future of this address. In the discussion, we were made aware that the owner has another business within Board 2 located at 561 Southern Boulevard. Sergeant Luis Guglielmo made the board aware that he was at Mr. Ruiz's business location, giving him summonses a couple of days prior to our meeting. It was also noted that Mr. Ruiz did not have a licensed security at his current location. Mr. Ruiz's establishment did not follow the executive orders to close earlier that was still selling beers after hours. Mr. Ruiz was asked to bring paperwork to the next FLP meeting with a valid licensed security for his current location. So this was just a discussion that was brought up, and then we realized that Mr. Ruiz is a current owner, and at 561 Southern Boulevard, that license is expiring in October, and he has not come back to us with, any plans that he's looking to do at 788 Southern Boulevard. So that was that. Then we spent a good amount of time. I'm sorry. Mr. Chairman has his hand raised.
No, I just want to make sure that that nothing gets approved and that the State Liquor Authority be informed of all of these issues. This way they do not bypass the board and get a liquor license.
Oh, they haven't applied for the 788 Southern Boulevard. There was no application. We'll receive it.
So my question, so let me ask you, Ralph, does that mean that in June, that would be their second meeting to us?
Yes. If he comes back in June with a plan, that would be their second meeting. But there has no application to the State Liquor Authority for that location.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Chair, I also want to inform you that we have issues with this current location. The police precinct has some pending violations, which they're yet to address. And they're also not complying by having a licensed security at the establishment. So he has many issues at his current business, in addition to the new one that he wants to establish.
Yes, that's correct.
So if these issues continue to be, and not addressed before the next board meeting, then I would leave it up to the committee to decide, but these issues should be addressed prior to them attending the next the next committee meeting.
Okay, we'll make a note of that for sure. And then the last item for the FLP was just a protocol that we went over that we're looking to hand out to any businesses beforehand so they can complete it, so that we'll have some more information at the committee level. So we'll have a follow-up with that for the next committee, and that concludes everything for the FLP committee.
Pastor John, thank you very much. I know it's not easy, but thank you for all you do. Thank you.
Okay, so hold on, I'm sorry. So we have a long card ride services. We will be doing the letter and sending it to you. And everyone else, we're sending the letter to the State Liquor Authority objecting to you. So
I have a question. I'm from a loan car service.
Yes.
Catherine, right?
Whoa, Ms. Reyes, I'm sorry. This is just business right now. Unless the chair acknowledges you. But for right now, your license, it was approved on our end. So we need to move on. We're in the business section.
Beyond that. So
Okay.
all we want to do is thank you.
Not a
Thank you
problem.
for coming in. It was approved. Thank you. We're moving on to human service, health and human services.
I don't
Is
see
Louis Madero here?
Louis was running late. He was in another meeting, and unfortunately, I don't see him here. Madam Chair, I think you attended that committee. But if not, I can easily go down what happened there. It's not an issue.
Read it because I can't see part of it. So if you could
Absolutely.
just
So the first item was Sean Bradley from Urban Health Plan. He did not attend the meeting. He was going to give us an information session on asthma regarding from Urban Health. So we're going to invite him to come back next month. We had Vanessa Diaz give us information regarding the Big Brother, Big Sister program of New York on how they're trying to gear up and outreach for not only the Bronx, but for our local district. So it was just information. And then we Michelle Fields did not attend the health meeting. She's a lawyer that wanted just to speak about the legalization of cannabis. So that's in a nutshell, what occurred at health. So we're done with the health.
Yes, thank you. Services, Larry?
Yes, can you guys hear me? Hold on, hold on. You guys hear
Larry, are
me?
you there, Larry? Yes, we can hear you,
Yeah,
Larry.
I'm here. You can hear me? Good.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead. We're on your report.
Okay, I'm going in. The youth services meeting was May 19th, which was a Wednesday. Went from basically 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. It was a dual meeting because we had the back to school event at the same time with the regular youth service committee. We just got the green light to move forward. We have a lot of work to do. We're planning to have our event, which is going to be on the third Saturday of August 21st, usually from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. We're looking for volunteers. We're looking for people to come to committee meeting to give suggestions. And we had basically that's it on the back to school event. We had a couple of presenters that came also. Miss Michelle Fields, which is an attorney that specializes in giving information about the new cannabis marijuana law. And then our second presenter was from the Point, Rock the Boat, and that was Miss Alexis. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. It's Camucho. She's the director of operations.
Coromaccio. Alex Coromaccio.
Okay, thank you, Ralph. And she talked about the boat program, which is a real good program, been here for a long time. I knew it was here in a long time. I think Ralph and was one of the people that actually entered the program, was talking about it when she gave her presentation. And that's it. Sign off. See you next youth services meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. V, are you here, V?
I'm here. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'll make it very brief. The last meeting we had was it was cool. We discussed a few events, some of the events for the senior. We had a senior prom planned for last year in June or July, I believe, and because of the pandemic, we had to postpone it. So we're looking to do that once everything clears up. We also discussed some events with Casita Maria in regards to the parranda that's supposed to be taking place sometime in December. We talked about a possible movie night, either for June or July, and the Halloween parade is expected to come back this year. So I'm really excited about that, and that's about it.
Wonderful. You got a lot going on, and thank you for looking out for the seniors, because we have a lot of stuff for the kids. Thank you for looking out for the seniors. I appreciate it.
Can I do something? I'm sorry. So
Absolutely.
the senior prom is literally senior prom. So it's for 60 and over.
That is correct.
So I can go.
And Sokola, yes, you could go. You could attend. Sokola also, Sokola actually just informed me today that the Halloween parade is a go. So.
And I also want to give Sokola a quick shout out. Thank you for all your help. She's been assisting me with the Halloween parade, and we're coming up with a lot of different creative ideas for it. So it's gonna be a good one this year. So thank you, Sokola.
Can I ask a question, please? Good evening, everyone. This is Paula Fields. You said the age for the seniors was what? Started at what age?
We're gonna do a senior prom for the senior prom. We just say 60 and over because.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure.
Thank you, V.
I'm only 51, but it's okay.
Stop it. I just want to acknowledge. I want to acknowledge that Luis Marrero is on. So hi, Luis. We did go through your report, so you're good. Just say hello to everybody. Okay.
Hi, everybody. I apologize. I just came from work, but I'm here.
We know you're always here. So we went through your report. Ralph read it. So
thank you, Julia.
You're welcome. Okay. Next page. That's all, V.
I'm sorry. Yes, Madam Chair. Like I said, the Special Events Committee just a quick plug. You know, one of the toughest committees is the Special Events Committee, because that's the committee that actually have events in the community. So that's a real hands-on committee. You know, I want to thank V and Cynthia and Mr. Sokola, because the three of them, you know, that's the brain trust when they put their brains together. And then you always have people like Maggie and Larry, of course, that always are willing to participate and help out and share ideas. So I just want to acknowledge that. Next up, we have, bear with me, we have the executive committee. I don't know, there is a voting item here. I don't know, Madam Chair, if you want me to just go through this or if
Yes, you could go through it.
great. So the first item, and I don't know if Justin is still on. Justin is still on. Okay, so the New York City planning proposing 5 text amendments citywide, right? And each community board, they're making presentations on all 5 of these text amendments. It's not mandatory for the community board to vote on it. However, it is really good information to know. And I think at that time, Justin was present, city planning was present at the executive committee. And it was suggested then that Justin will maybe continue to make the presentations. And the consensus will be, because this board, community board, votes on this at Bronx Borough Board. So that vote will represent all 5 text amendments, unless we have to split it up for whatever reason. But once it goes to the Bronx Borough President's office and it's on their agenda, on their calendar, the chairman or, you know, an executive officer of our community board will then vote on behalf of the community board at that level. So there will be some more presentations that are being made. I will encourage everyone to participate. Second item, Open Arms, which is located at 860 East 161st Street, which is right off the corner of Westchester, is requesting a letter of support to the New York City Department of Aging for funding of expanding and new services. So this was something that was presented. It was very time sensitive. They only received the RFP about 2 weeks ago, and it has to be submitted in early June. So they requested to make a presentation. The executive committee at that time decided to bring it to the executive committee. Presentation was made, and it was a motion was made to grant the letter of support at that time at the executive committee. So this is a voting item. We still have quorum. The motion was made and passed at the committee to grant the letter of support. And now we need someone to second it.
Bobby Crespo.
I second.
I think we're going to go with Sandra De Jesus. Mr. Crespo was not present at the executive committee, so I guess we can use him for the second. So, Madam Chair, we're in discussion. We're in discussion now for this voting item.
Anybody has any questions or discussion on this topic? I know Boris was here earlier. If he's still here, just in case.
I am still here, Madam Chair. I'm still here.
Okay, I just
Good
wanted
evening.
I just wanted to acknowledge that you're here. Hi.
Thank you.
Any discussion on it?
No
Boris is here.
discussion. We could go right into the vote.
Oh, okay. I was giving people a chance to think just in case. Anybody opposes the letter of support? Any abstentions?
I'm abstaining. Well, actually, I have to recuse myself from the vote.
Yes.
Recuse. Yes, Jennifer.
I'm abstaining that because I don't know what that means. What happened and what the discussion is. I'm gonna stay out of that.
All right.
Okay. So we have one abstention and Jennifer recused herself. So we're good with this one. It passes.
Great.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you very much.
We had an item on with a CIA, a coalition involvement agreement from Forward South Bronx Coalition. So they sent us a letter asking myself, the district manager, to sign off on it. I do not sign any letters. I always co-sign a letter with either the chairman or with the chairman. So this was something that we brought up to the executive committee. And at that time, the executive committee felt the language of the letter. They needed some more explanation with it. and they kindly had requested that maybe Forward South Bronx Coalition, make a formal presentation regarding the letter of support that they're this Coalition Involvement Agreement, a CIA. And so that's what occurred at that time there. And then there was a discussion on board members' attendance at the full board general meeting and at committee meetings. So next month we'll be reviewing board members' attendance, knowing that it's the last month of for this session. But we just want to encourage people to participate. All the work is done at the committee level, and we need quorum. That's the main thing to conduct business, because we cannot conduct business if there's not quorum. And those are the items that were discussed at the executive committee, Madam Chair.
That's correct. Yes. Thank you very much, Ralph. And now we have housing and land use. Paula, are you available? Paula?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
Great,
You hear me? Just give me a second. Let me turn this television down.
Madam Chair, while we wait for Paula, I just want to acknowledge that we are joined by the Senate Majority Leader, Senator Chuck Schumer, is on with us now.
Okay, so Paula, let's hold.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
Thank
at
you.
all. That's amazing.
Okay, so let's go ahead and hello. Can you hear us yet?
Senator, you're on mute. I don't know if you're talking. We cannot hear you, but you're on mute.
My name is Steve. I'm on the senator's staff. He signed on, but he's not online.
Okay.
Is he coming on, Stephen, or you're gonna tell us something?
He's in and out.
Stephen, can you hear me?
I'll give you guys the heads up before he hops on.
Okay, so
that's perfect.
we can go to our report. And okay, so Paula, you go on to your report.
Okay, so Justin Lamarella of the city planning gave a presentation on some site that he wanted a letter of support to the commissioner for proposal of citywide zoning tax amendments. So at the meeting when he started, we had quorum, but by the time it was time to vote for it, we didn't have quorum. So we weren't able to vote on that. Is that correct, Ralph?
Yes, and that was an item that we brought up at the executive committee.
Right, and that's what Justin gave the presentation on, right? So we had it at executive committee. Also, we were supposed to have an informative presentation by the Metropolitan Realty Exemption regarding several buildings in the district receiving funds from HPD, which is a PFASH/AIRS. It's a certain program that HPD offers, and they did not show up to the meeting. So that's my report. Thank you.
Madam Chair, that concludes the committee's reports. And we still got old business, new business announcement. We got a bunch of announcements, so we still have a little time for
Okay. Before we go into the old business, well, anyway, I'll do this at the end. Let's do old business. Any old business?
Can I ask a question? Paula, about housing?
Yes, Dr. Garcia, how can I help you?
Okay. You remember that when we got 2 meetings back, that we're talking about 2 or 3 meetings, we're talking about housing, right? That we got different people there representing housing. So, but they never give you the answer. How many people they moving already in the new building and the new project? And what about the people from this side of the community? Because we counting, we voting, we living in the community. Good and bad, but we living here. We got our right to demanding how many apartments we agree when they came with any project, and they never follow the rules.
Okay, so which project are you talking about? The
I'm talking about now recently. It's PRC, because that's the one that got most project down here.
You talking about PRC and housing?
Yes, all the new building.
I believe they already did the lottery and accepted the 2 individuals that are going to be placed in that building already. Is that correct, Ralph? Because I don't know which building she's talking about. I don't know which building you're talking about.
We're supposed to get that information already because they got almost the building is full, and we don't see. You can ask in the community how many people they moving there. People.
I believe that Mr. Mike stated that in March's meeting before we had. Was it March? I believe it was March or February. April. Okay, it was April's meeting that he gave the 50% allocation for the apartments in the district.
No, not from this community. They bring it from another place, but not from here.
No, Mr. Mike is he's the one of the execs at PRC, and he did give 50% preference. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but what I can do is I can go back and look at it, and I'll just have them send it to you. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
I know. Even he talked to me that I'm gonna tell him no, you're not right, because they don't give it the 50%. They bring it from another places, from Jackson, from Hot Point, from Community 1, the one studying on the other side, like
but I'll see it.
Like 167, 172. Other side.
Hunt's Point is District 2.
Yeah, but if I'm not mistaken, PRC is the only really operation that has been giving us the preference by zip code, which is what we were asking for 2 years. So they're the only ones who really abided by that request. Really.
Yeah, but you know when they do the project.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so we'll talk about this.
We're done with this. Yes.
Yeah, you have to speak on the sidebar.
Thank you very much.
They provided us information. I'm sharing with Altagracia if I can find it. The breakdown of the apartments for the Tiffany Street.
I have it also, so I'll continue around and I'll let you call you.
Madam Chair.
All right, to provide that just to clear stuff up. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Altagracia. Any old business?
Is the senator on yet?
Any old business? Any new business?
I have new business.
Yes, Miles has his hand raised.
Yes, Miles.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to speak to everybody again. You know, I spoke at the last meeting about Department of Transportation giving a presentation to our municipality committee, and casually they wanted to take away 44 parking spots. You know, they came again to our our municipality committee. This time they gave a different presentation for a different area in our district. And in this presentation, they wanted to remove over 30 parking spots. I think that that's a lot of parking spots to be removed in our district. Over 74 parking spots would be a lot to lose over, you know, a short period of time. I know that, you know, I really believe in safety. I have a friend that was very badly hurt from a traffic incident, so I believe that we need to make upgrades. But I do think that that is a big loss for our business community and for our residents who, you know, rely on their cars to get to work, to make a living, to feed their families. This is going to take them more time to find parking. That's more time away from their children. And it's also going to take more time or more money to possibly have to park in a parking garage, which we don't have many of. I spoke at the last meeting about how businesses that people tell me they want as the bid director, like Target or Marshall's or Starbucks or expensive salad places, all these places do feasibility studies that include parking. And when they see that they can't get parking for pickups and deliveries and things like that, it's really keeping them away from our district. So, you know, the council member spoke to our committee and said that he was going to follow the community board's lead on these Department of Transportation proposals. You know, I think that rushing these proposals in at the end of our community board year, at the end of a mayoral administration, and then saying that they are priorities is just not fair. And I think it's insulting to our board. They would never do this in Manhattan. When I worked in the North Bronx, they rezoned 70 parking spots, and we only lost 8 parking spots. So, you know, I know it is possible to do a different plan, and I really just want to put it out there so people are aware that this is happening. I know that our district manager and the council member did a walkthrough. I'm encouraged that they are, you know, active on this topic, but I really beg everybody who's involved in this committee and in this board that cares about this topic like I do, to make their voices heard and let the councilmen and our chairman and everyone know that they don't want this if that is the case. But I'll leave it there, and I thank you for the time.
Ralph?
Oh, thank you for bringing it. Keep reminding and keep talking about it, because that's the only way that we're going to get people, you know, acting on it. Because that is ridiculous. 30 parking spaces, that's a lot. That's the whole Southern Boulevard.
Yeah. Oh,
Ralph?
let me
Ralph?
say something else. Ralph?
Ralph?
It's not up to me. I'm sorry. I see someone asking me. I know the chairman has his hand
I
raised.
have my hands up. Yeah, I just want.
Chairman, go ahead, vacationing chairman.
First of all, it's my grandson's graduation. It's not a vacation. He graduates tomorrow out of high school. But
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I want Miles to understand. It's not just the 30 and the 40. It goes a little further. When you look at the bike racks and what they've done, and they've taken spaces, you're talking about approximately another 30 spots. So we're talking about 100 spots. This is something that is very high on the list of the councilman, as well as the district manager and myself. The walkthrough that they had, it's my understanding that they're trying to work something out. Part of one of the plans that they're talking about, the councilman is not with them on it. At this point right now, he doesn't care for that particular plan, which is 167th Street, if I'm not mistaken, Ralph. Tell me if I'm wrong. In making it one way instead of two ways. One of the things that Ralph had suggested is that in order for us not to lose any space, maybe we should do angle parking in certain spots. That was not accepted by the Bronx commissioner, stating to the fact of, I'm not going to put a man out there to look at what streets are acceptable for angle parking or not. It's not whether you put somebody there, it's how much inconvenience you're doing to the community. And I agree with Miles. We're trying, and now I'm speaking a little bit about as the vice chair of the BIG. We're trying to bring in as many named stores as we can. Unfortunately, if we keep losing the spots that we're losing, and in particularly one plan, which is on Westchester Avenue, it's going to kill the BIG. It's going to kill Southern Boulevard, where we won't get any named stores there. And we'll get more closure of stores than opening of stores. So I agree with Miles on that. And I'm glad that he keeps bringing it up. And the truth of the matter is, it's on the councilman, on top of the councilman's list. It's on my list, and it's on Ralph's list. So please understand, this is I don't care what administration's coming in. This old administration as well as the new administration coming in January, they're still going to have to hear the voices that are objecting to this any particular plan that is being presented right now by DOT.
Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, I agree with Miles. We're all in favor of pedestrian safety, but at the loss of that number of parking spaces, there has to be some sort of compromise, and that's what we've been trying to work on. And I'm happy that Miles is, not only brought it up, but is also raising these concerns on behalf of the community board. So thank you, Miles.
Thank you, Miles, and we're supporting you, whatever you need us to do. Is that it for any other new business?
I have something I'd
Hi,
like to
this is
address.
One at a time. Barbara?
Yes. I have a little concern about the Bruckner Boulevard. I mean, I've never seen it so filthy. I think it's horrible to just hit the highway and see that it's part of community board too, and seeing how filthy that looks. I mean, that's disastrous. We need to do something about that.
I think people are just dumping
I mean,
there.
something that I did mention already. No, yes. So, we will be addressing that with state DOT. That's their contractors. They're using a lot of the Bruckner as staging areas. However, they're not cleaning up behind them, and they're not being responsible. So that's something that we will address with them.
Thank you, Ralph.
Thank you.
Hi,
Somebody else said.
this is Sonia Ferguson. Hi, I'm asking, will there be permits for block parties this summer?
The what?
Say that again?
Will there be available permits for block parties this summer?
I haven't heard anything yet. That's something maybe you could address at the precinct council meeting.
Yeah, I would
First Thursday
suggest you
of the
bring it
month.
up at the precinct council meeting because we have not heard anything yet, and maybe the police might know if anything or any updates regarding that, Sonia.
Yeah, the first Thursday of the month.
Okay,
Welcome.
thank you so much.
Anybody else? You're welcome. Anybody else has any new business?
The chairman has his hand raised.
Yeah, the only to respond to Barbara. Barbara, you're correct. The it's getting filthier and filthier every day. If you go to Bruckner and Bryant, you see the stack of dumping that's going on there. We will try to get to see if sanitation can help us, but it falls upon the state DOT. So I would invite all board members to be at the municipal meeting. I think that's when we're having it, at the municipal meeting, when state DOT comes down this month, and state your concerns, because the more voices they hear, the more they're going to have to respond. I'm also going to request that all state elected officials that have anything to do with Community Board 2 be on that meeting also.
Yes.
Yep. We have Officer
I'm
Sokola
sorry,
with her hand
Bobby.
raised.
Excuse
Hello,
me.
hello,
When
hold
is-
on. We have
Ralph,
Officer
when is the
Sokola with
meeting?
her
I just
hand
need to
raised.
know. I just need to know when is that meeting.
I'm sorry, love. You got to give us a minute here. Officer Sokola has her hand raised. So, Officer Sokola.
Hi, good evening. How are you? How's everyone? To answer the question in regards to permits, they're only allowing religion, parade, musical like arts, and religion. Those are the only permits as of now that are getting approved.
Officer Sokola, I'm sorry
Thank you
you
for
weren't
that.
here before. I was giving you a whole bunch of thanks and everything for what you're doing, because I told them how somebody adopted you as a granddaughter, and how you're helping me feed my seniors. So thank you. I publicly did it. Sergeant was here, so I come to bring back the word to you.
Thank you so much, Julia. Take care of my grandfather, okay?
I will, Grandpa. Grandpa asked for you. Grandpa told you go eat with him.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
And then Love, I'm
Okay,
sorry, Love
so,
had a question. Love?
No, this is Sonia. I just was.
No, Love had a question. Go ahead, Love.
Thank you. I'm talking to Bobby. Bobby,
Yeah.
you there?
Yeah.
When is this meeting going to take sanitation?
At the, I believe it's the Municipal Service Committee, which is the second Tuesday of the month.
Good.
Follow up with, it's not sanitation,
That's
it's
committee.
state DOT. It's state DOT.
State DOT.
Yes,
and
Madam Chair, the
I'm
senator
not
is
finished,
on with
Ralph.
us.
Excuse me, Acevedo. I'm not finished, please. Okay, Ralph, I have been in contact with sanitation about this. Also, the problem that we've been having with the garbage and the streets and all of that. So Rivas, the manager, was telling me that they are doing and trying their best to keep it clean. So I told him just keep trying more. That's all.
Awesome. Thank you, Love. You can also include it in any emails, push.
Say something.
Yeah, I just want to say that Rivas has been exceptionally trying to make himself to try and do the job that he can on Bruckner, but the garbage
Yes.
is extremely too much. And the only other concern that I have with this, Ralph, in case that I don't make it to the next meeting, which I doubt, but the fact of that they're doing all this construction, they're breaking all these old pillars. We don't know how much asbestos is inside those pillars from the past, and secondly, how much dust is in the air. I haven't suffered from asthma for I would say over 10 years. And this past week when I was in New York, I was suffering every day of asthma. So I think that, you know, if I'm suffering, that means my seniors are suffering. That means my kids are suffering.
Yes.
And we need to get to we need for them to understand they got to wet down all of that stuff because it goes in the air and we're getting sick.
Okay, maybe we bring these issues in the health committee. Ralph, did you say somebody was online now?
Yes, we have Senator Chuck Schumer is with us. Senator, good evening.
Good evening. Can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me, Roberto?
Yes.
And can you hear me, Julia?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we could hear you.
Good.
So, we're here. We're all ears.
Great.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And let me thank Board 2 of the great borough of the Bronx for making a little time for me. And first, I want to thank Roberto Crespo and Julia Cruz for their good work they do. And I want to thank all our board members. You know, I started out as a community activist and a tenant organizer. And I'm a very community person from the southern part of Brooklyn. And I know how important you are to our communities. And let me say something, I know this too. When things go wrong, you community board members always hear about it. When things go right, nobody says thank you. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for the good work you are doing in some of the neighborhoods that really need focus and attention from the city, and you do that. So I thank you for doing that. And what I also want to do is first tell you a little bit about my January 6th, and then a little bit about the purpose of this call is to let you know what was in the bill that we passed in the Senate so that the members, the residents of Community Board 6 can take advantage of it. There's a lot in there that people don't know about. So if that's okay, I'll talk for about 10, 12 minutes and then we'll do a few questions. Is that okay, Roberto?
That's it. You got the floor right now.
Great.
Even though it's Julia's floor, not my floor.
Okay, Julia, is that okay with you?
That's okay with me. It's perfect. I'm all ears.
Good. Okay. So first, let me tell you a little bit, because you may find this interesting, my January 6th. It could be described as the best of times, the worst of times for me. It was the best of times because you may remember on January 5th was the election of the two senators from Georgia, and we knew if they won, I would become the majority leader. That was my dream, to take back the Senate from McConnell and put it in good hands. And it was a very close election. It's Tuesday, the day before January 6th. I stayed up all night waiting for the results. Finally, 2 a.m, I'm still on the computer. It's Wednesday now. I'm on the, someone, by the way, is not on mute. Do you hear a lot of wind? There we go. Much better. Thank you, Roberto. And I'm really nervous about the election. I'm up all night. Tuesday night becomes Wednesday morning. And at 2 a.m, I'm still on the computer punching out what are the results in Atlanta, what are the results in Southern Georgia, what's the African-American turnout, etc. Finally, at 4 a.m, they declare that our two Senate Democrats have won. Well, what's my first reaction? Joy. Thanks to God. You know, as every one of us has had personal goals, serious, important personal goals or community goals or business goals or family goals. And it takes a long time to get there, which it did for me. And there are logs in the path and detours on the road. Finally, you get there, joy and thanks to God. So that was my first reaction. That was not unexpected. Well, my second emotion crept up on me very fast and very hard. And I tried to figure out the right word to describe it. And the word I'd use is awe, A-W-E. What do I mean by that? Well, not the way my daughters used to use it. Gee, Dad, that movie was awesome. But rather in the biblical sense. You may remember in the Bible, when the angels see the face of God, they tremble in awe. And I realized the huge responsibility on my shoulders and the shoulders of our Democratic majority, thin though it was. And there were three types of responsibilities. One was substantive, get us out of this COVID mess, and then help deal with the problems we have with housing, with food, with schools, with racial inequality, with bigotry, with democracy, with climate, so many issues. So that was substantive. That was a huge responsibility on our shoulders. The second responsibility I call political. What do I mean by that? Well, we all know so many people who say it doesn't make a darn bit of difference who I vote for. It's not going to make a difference. But we had two issues that we could really show people we could change things from when McConnell and Trump were around instead of Biden and Schumer. And they were the vaccines and they were the checks. If we could get those out, people would say, hey, elections did make a difference.
Take your sneakers off.
And the third responsibility was probably the biggest of all. I would call it moral. And what do I mean by that? Well, you may have asked yourself the same question I asked myself. How did so many people vote for such a despicable man like Donald Trump? I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. I don't care if you're a liberal or conservative. This man is vile. He's a liar. He's a racist. He's a divider. He only cares about his own ego and feeding his own face. How'd we vote for him? Why? And the conclusion I came to is many Americans, too many Americans, were losing faith in America and in the American dream. If you ask the average American, what's the American dream mean to you? They'd put it simply. They'd say it means if I work hard, I'll be doing better 10 years from now than I'm doing today, and my kids will be doing better than me. But when people don't believe in that dream anymore, when America becomes sour, you can vote for a right-wing demagogue like Trump. You can turn to blame the immigrants, blame the people of color, blame this, blame that. So we had a moral obligation to do big, bold action so people had hope in their futures again. Nobody expected us to snap our fingers and solve all the problems, but they wanted to see progress. Okay, so those were the two reactions. Joy, I'm a majority leader. Awe, what a responsibility. Okay, I can't fall asleep. It's 4 a.m. I get in my car at 7:30, drive down to Washington, get on the Senate floor at 1 p.m., my first time as majority leader, hadn't even had a chance to give the speech, my first speech, when a police officer within an hour comes over to me. He has a big bulletproof vest and a submachine gun around his waist, and he grabs me by the collar like this. I'll never forget that feel. He says, Senator, you're in danger. We got to get out of here. I didn't even know what was going on. He explained it to me that these thugs and hooligans had invaded the Capitol. You probably saw this because it was on TV. And it was shown in the impeachment trial. These overhead security cameras caught it on tape. They show us going out the door of the Senate, making a right turn. I'm walking briskly. I'm surrounded by two police officers. I go in a door, then you don't see me for 20 seconds. And then we're running out the door, me and the police, the other way. We were within 20 feet of these insurrectionist, racist, horrible people. Had one of them had a gun? Had a couple of them blocked off the door? I wouldn't be here today talking to you. I escaped, although we heard one of them saw me and said, let's get the big Jew, because I'm Jewish. So that was the worst of times. So we had the best of times, we're the majority, and within 12 hours, the worst of times. Now we're getting back to the better of times again. They've arrested 400 of these people, and I'm told the Justice Department, you better throw the book at these sons of guns. I'm not allowed to curse. You know, I'm from Brooklyn, you're from the Bronx. We sometimes curse. But I'm not going to use curse word, but I normally would. Second, we delivered the checks. Everyone in your community who made below $75,000 as a single person, below $150,000 as a family, should have gotten a $1,400 check per person, a family of four, $50, $600. If they haven't gotten it, something's the matter, and you should call us or call, we'll tell you who to call. I have one of my staffers on the phone, Julieta Lopez. Are you on, Julieta? She's our deputy director. Julieta, are you on or is Steve Alika?
No, I'm Steve.
Steve's on. There's Steve. And where's Julieta?
He's on as well.
All right, they'll give you their information and you can find out how to get the checks. And we also got the vaccines. Trump didn't distribute vaccines, particularly to poorer communities and communities of color. I made sure in the law that we wrote that communities of color came first and that everyone would get a vaccine for free. Right now, as we stand, anyone can, and by the way, we got it in 200 community health centers. So there are a bunch in your district in Community Board 2. And anyone can line up there or to many of the drugstores, no questions asked, if you're over 15, and just get a free vaccine. So hopefully they'll get that. But we also passed the American Rescue Plan, which has loads of good things, and that's the rest of my little talk, because I want to tell you about the stuff that's in there that you may not know about. Here's something that people are going to get that you don't know, that'll affect, that you may not know. We doubled the child tax credit. Any person, any single parent who makes below 75,000, any couple who makes below 150 will start in July getting $300 per child who is 0 to 6 and $250 per child 6 to 17. It's going to be a lot of money for people, and the whole idea, it will take half the kids in New York out of poverty. We all know when a child is born into poverty, they often don't get fed properly, clothed properly, educated properly, good health care. And when they're 18, they're in a big ditch, or even 15, 60. To their credit, a lot of them climb out of it, but many don't. This will stop half the kids in the Bronx and in America from being in poverty. It's huge. And that comes after the checks, so spread the word on that. Another thing we did, we got paid family sick leave and paid sick and family leave. So your employer will get fully reimbursed if they gave you paid sick leave and paid family leave. We extended the SNAP benefits through the end of September. More money for food banks, more money for people who need food. I got $2 billion for New York to help people pay the rent. If you have members of your board, and I'm sure there are many, who lost their jobs, got paid less, and are being kicked out because they don't have money for the rent, there's not only a moratorium. A moratorium's okay, but after 6 months when it's over, you owe 6 months rent. Now, they can get money to pay the rent for a year. I will give you information on how to get that. Here's another one. We got money for our schools. Our school districts are going to get a lot of money. Every school will open up full-time, 5 days a week in September. But better even than that, they can open for summer school. So all the kids who didn't get the schooling this year because of COVID will get some. And here's this. Money, they can open community centers at night and after school. You know, I grew up in Brooklyn. I was a poor kid. My father was an exterminator. Didn't have money. But I had the Madison High School Night Center, which was my high school, Madison High School in Brooklyn. And every night I'd go there and play basketball. Kept me off the streets, kept me out of trouble. The schools now have money. Every high school in your district, every elementary school, every junior, middle school has the ability to pay for these programs. And we also, when we did the school district money, folks, guess what I did? I said it should be Title I, so the poor districts get the most money, not those rich districts on Long Island or in the suburbs. So your school districts will get good money. We got money for childcare. About a third of the childcare providers closed. People were staying home. They didn't send their kids to childcare. There were limits. People were worried about COVID. We can open those up again. Here's another one that's important that people don't know. We got money for funerals. How many, do you know what's, it broke my heart. You would see children and adults pushing their face against the glass, the thick glass in the hospital, divided up the rooms, waving goodbye to their loved ones who had COVID and were dying. No hugs, no kisses, no touching. Breaks your heart. And then adding insult to injury, there was no money for a funeral. We have 7,000 people in New York City lying in morgues because they don't have the money to bury them or give them a funeral. Now, because of Congresswoman AOC and myself, we worked on this together. Every family who needs a funeral will get $7,000 to $9,000. And if you paid for a funeral last year, you get the money back. So this is very, very important. And there's a phone number you apply to get this money. We'll get you this, but here's the number in case you want it now. It's 844-684-6333. And They speak English, Spanish, Chinese, French, a bunch of different languages if people don't speak English, so they can help get that money. Here's another thing we did. People incarcerated. We have a lot of young people incarcerated, particularly because marijuana is so over-criminalized. Guess what we did? We said that anyone in a prison can get Pell Grants so they can take courses, technical course, junior college, college. When they get out of prison, they'll have a skill and they can get a job instead of just languishing in prison. Spread the word on that. We got money for mortgages. Oh, the rental assistance. Remember I mentioned the rental assistance to pay your rent? I know that in your district, there are some landlords on 3-family or 2-family houses. What if their tenant doesn't pay the rent? How are they going to pay the mortgage? They can get the money from this rental assistance too. They don't know it. Here's another thing. Churches and small businesses. Now, you may have read that the money we got for small businesses and churches, I got money for the churches, has run out. Not for minorities. I put a special allotment in there. So if you're Black, brown, Indian, Native American, Asian, and you own a business or you're a member of a church, you can still get the small business money. So tell people to apply because they're running out of the small business money. That's true, but we have a special minority set aside that's there. We also, homeless people, we got $5 billion, which the state has, and they're supposed to give out to the communities to help the homeless get a roof over their heads. So many people lost their homes because of COVID. So there are all those things we're trying to get done and many more, that we've done and many more we're trying to get done. I'm trying to make sure that student loans are forgiven for $50,000. We're trying to make sure marijuana is decriminalized, and we're trying most of all to make sure that we create jobs in your district. When we build this infrastructure bill, 40% of the jobs have to go to minorities and poor people. Train them for construction jobs. These are good paying jobs. And if people got the training and the federal government's paying all this money for infrastructure, it'll be great. So that's basically many of the things. I'm leaving some out, I'm sure. But my staff, Julieta Lopez and Steve Alika, will get you all this information, and please spread the word to all the groups in your community so they take advantage. Because, remember what Dr. Fauci said, the expert on vaccines? He said, a vaccine on the shelf is no good until it gets into people's arms. All that money that we've laid out from the federal government is no good. It gets into the people's hands. So tell the churches, tell the small businesses, tell the people who need food, tell the people who need funeral assistance. There's lots of money here, and we can try to help you get it. Okay? With that, I don't know who's going to run the show, but I'm ready for any questions you might have.
And Chair, thank you so much, Senator, for that. Madam Chair.
Yes, Senator, thank you so much. And I want to personally thank you for all you do and all you're trying to do. I know sometimes it gets difficult and I see the fight, but it's a good fight. Fight it for us. Yes.
Hey, Julia, I'm from Brooklyn. Like from the Bronx, I'm a fighter. I grew up poor. My father was by the way, my father's 97. He's funny. He says, I was an exterminator. How bad could I'm 97. How bad could DDT have been?
Exterminate.
Madam
Anyway,
Chair, we have Chairman Crespo with his hand raised.
Yes, I do work in a nursing home. I'm the director of social services. So when you saying goodbye through a glass, saying goodbye, I saw that firsthand. It breaks your heart. And yes, there's a lot of people that winded up in Hart Island because we couldn't put them any place. So this is going to help a lot because they were promised that they can take them out of Hart Island once they have money.
And they can get it retroactive. Yes, they can. And we'll help them.
Great. Thank you so much.
One other thing we're doing. One other thing, Julia. I'm working with your Congressman, Richie Torres, who I really like very much. We're trying to double the money for public housing. So we can get $80 billion for public housing, and they can upgrade it. Upgrade the elevators, upgrade the boilers, get rid of the vermin, get rid of the mold, all of that. You have a lot of public housing. This is going to be the biggest federal influx into federal housing that we've ever seen. Torres and I are working on this. He's great, by the way. I really like him.
Thank you. Thank you. And from all my seniors, I thank you. I think Bobby Crespo also has a question for you.
Sure. Hi, Bobby.
How you doing, Senator? It's nice seeing you. I worked on your very first congressional campaign out in Brooklyn with Herman Badillo.
Oh, yeah.
So that goes to show I've been around the block a little time.
By the way, you know who worked in my Senate campaign?
Who?
Miranda.
Oh, yes.
He knocked on doors for me.
Yes.
Now he's
But-
famous.
Yeah, he is. His son made him a little bit more famous than before.
Yeah. No, his son knocked on doors for me.
Well, what I was going to ask, and I really appreciate your leadership in all the bills, stimulus, and all that you've done. Without that, I think that this country would be in worse conditions than what it is right now. But I do have some concerns as it pertains locally, and since there's stimulus money for corporations to help and hire. There are, you got a corporation like Amazon here in Community Board too. They have 3 sites. One is their food sites and 2 trucking sites. And they say they give us jobs, but the jobs are not really jobs. They're subcontracted out by other people. They don't do anything for the community, whereby some of this money that you're giving to them, they can reinvest back into our community. And,
Yes.
Like into our schools, into some of our community organizations, not too far away from where they're at right now. We got Rocking the Boat. We got The Point. We have Public School 48. We have a grave ground from the Civil War where African Americans were buried and nobody knows about it, and we have no help for this type of stuff. So I would ask that maybe Steve, that's on the line, that was maybe he can help our district manager on some of these issues, because honestly, it's getting to the point that they're making all the money and we're
Roberto, we didn't give Amazon any money in this thing. We gave them zero. Any big company got nothing. The big food chains. In the first bill, Trump gave them money because he's a son of a gun. But we didn't give him any, But there is money for all these groups you mentioned. There's money for mental health groups. There's money for child care groups. There's money for anti-drug groups. There's money for youth groups. I will get you. That has come out of the federal government in this bill, and the local groups can apply and get it. I will get you the info on that. So all those groups you mentioned can get help.
One of my board members is on, Jesse Harris. He just walked away, but he's the one that's handling our the Drake's graveyard.
Yes, he is on. Yes, he is on.
Yeah, Jesse.
And he's been trying to get some money and understanding, because there are slaves that are buried there in Hunts Point.
Yes.
And it's something that it's not being kept. He brought it to our attention, and some of the kids from the local school brought it to our attention. This is a big project for us. If it could be,
Let's see if we can find some. Let's see if we can. And the money we gave New York City, not only did it mean they didn't have to lay off people, but they have money just for these things. So we'll work with you to try to get some of that money for this project. How's that?
Thank you very
Anybody
much.
else?
What was that man's name?
Excuse me. What was that?
What was that man's name? I don't see him.
He's right there, Jesse Harris. He's
Jesse Harris, and I'm here.
Okay, you're not in the.
On the phone, that's why.
Okay.
He's the historian of our community.
Okay, good. We'll try to help.
Bobby.
Anybody else have their hand up?
Yes, Chair. Miles has his hand. Well, Miles did have his hand. We don't have no more hands right now.
Jesse, did you want to say something?
My hand is up, Ralph. I'll wait till everyone's finished. Did you want to say something?
Excuse me, Jesse, did you want to say something?
Yes, Senator, thank you for coming and thank you for giving us that information. Who exactly in your office can I contact and talk about the burial ground? Because we're talking about the past, the long past, and we're looking at the future for the youngsters. Educationally, looking at some things that they can do that will keep them in education and move them from public school out to their doctorate. So that's what we're looking for the burial ground to do. But we need to have someone directly that I can talk to at your office.
Yes, talk to Julieta Lopez and she'll put you in touch with the right people, okay, on my staff. And This is money that, who's your councilman?
Salamanca.
Rafael Salamanca.
So, yeah, he's running for something else now, right?
Nah, he's staying in the city council, I
Good,
think.
good. I will have Julieta work with him and we'll bang on the door because the city got the money and now they're supposed to give it out, but it can go to projects like yours. So we'll try to get that for you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Madam Chair, we have Monique.
I think Monique also. Monique was next.
Hi, Mr.
Sophia,
Schumer.
I'll be
I
next
am
after that.
very happy to see you up here, and I just want to thank you for allocating these monies for minority projects because something that Ralph and the board knows that I have been very concerned about is the employment rate of the African Americans in our own community.
Right.
In the local sector where the businesses are ran right in the neighborhood. So thank you for that, and we will be utilizing that.
Yes. They should, when we get this
Community
passed, it
affairs
should
office.
employ thousands of people in the South Bronx in good paying jobs. This is our future to get good paying. If you're going to build all this infrastructure, let's have some people of color. Let's have some poorer people build it. You know, you don't need to be a PhD to have a good construction job. You just got to be let in the door.
Thank you so much, and we have a future to protect, so thank you so much.
I see that little future.
Everybody mute their phone. There's several conversations going on. Please look at your thing and mute your phones.
Yes,
Jesse, I think your mic is open.
Yeah.
Who's next? Is anybody else?
There's no one else with their hand raised, Madam Chair.
Julia, Roland Lopez. Just
Roland?
briefly. Yeah, I just want to tell the senator, and I thank him, that I retired from the police department. I was a homicide detective, but I'm backing up the police department. The word defund doesn't apply to my world. What I'm saying, reform. And we don't want to militarize the police department, but we get along with the police department, and we have to work with the precincts in the Bronx. And I would like for you to get involved. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Roland. No, I
All right.
agree with you. You need to get rid of the bad people, but that
Yes.
doesn't mean there should be no police.
Madam Chair, Miles has his hand raised.
Miles, are you back with us?
There, yeah, my service keeps going in and out. Hi there. Thank you, Senator Schumer, for coming to our meeting tonight and always fighting for the South Bronx.
Could you talk a little louder, Miles?
Can you hear me? Is that
Yes,
better?
better, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Senator Schumer, for being here tonight and fighting for the South Bronx all the time. I just wanted to ask you, you know, when we're trying to have more affordable housing as we have more development coming into our communities, and our affordable housing rates are tied to, you know, Westchester when it comes to the average median income.
It's
Is
crazy.
there anything we can do? Like, I
Yes.
just think it seems really unfair to the people of the Bronx to be tied in with Westchester.
Miles, you make a very good point. I'll make 2 points here. First, we got $5 billion for affordable housing. This is in addition to what Richie Torres and are trying to get for public housing. But this is for affordable housing. We got the low-income tax credit greatly raised, and we have more money for affordable housing. But one of the problems is, just as you say, they treat the whole New York metropolitan area as one, and the South Bronx should not be tied in with Westchester. We're trying to get HUD to change that now. And it would help, Miles, if the community board wrote a letter to HUD about this. You know, our new HUD secretary is very, very good, Marcia Fudge. She comes from inner city Cleveland. She understands our problems. And I'm trying to get this HUD to change these rules.
Thank you so much.
Senator.
Pascual
Thank you,
Gomez
Senator.
has a question?
Just
Pascual
one
Gomez has
more
a
and
question.
then
Okay, one
Pascual
more.
Gomez. Pascual
Lynette.
Gomez.
somebody's talking. Who's talking?
Pascual Gomez.
Oh, okay, just one more. Pasquale, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to verify with the senator that one of the important things that affects the black.
I lost him. Am I missing?
We lost you. I'm so sorry. Senator Schumer, thank you so much. I just wanted to acknowledge that we have one of the police officers here, one of our community affairs officers, and she's wonderful for the community. She works with everybody.
Madam Chair, we do,
ma'am.
Reverend John with his hand raised. I don't know if that's enough, if we have enough time for the senator.
Tell you
Go
that,
ahead, Reverend. We'll take the Reverend as the last one.
Thank you very much, Senator. We really appreciate all the great work you're doing for us. I also want to mention the challenges that a lot of business people are having in our community with regards to the business loans. Many of our businesses are being denied because of poor credit. And as you know, minority communities, Blacks, Hispanics, we really don't have very good credit. So we are being left out of the SBA loans. I don't know what you can do to address this this situation, because it is really affecting our businesses that have been
So,
struggling
Reverend,
with it.
we walled off $9 billion for just minority folks, and credit shouldn't count very much in those. And we will give you there are these CDFIs and MDIs, which are community-oriented institutions that should help your people get this money and could help your church get the money too. So I will have Julieta send you the name and phone number of the people who are in charge of helping you get that, okay? They're supposed to be very helpful.
Thank you.
Because you're 100% right.
Senator, on behalf of my district manager, on behalf of my vacationing chairman, on behalf of myself, our committee members, I want to thank you and thank you for what you do. Continue doing it, and we're there with you, fighting for you.
Thank you, and
for
call Julia, you and Roberto and anyone else, call us if you need us. Thank you. I believe in you.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good night. Stay
Bye.
safe.
Good night.
Okay, announcement, that was
Yes, we have a few announcements. Let me just get back the agenda up. Maria Torres has her hand raised. I don't know.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that June 19th, the Point's doing its annual fish parade. We will be at our space outdoors at Hunts Point Riverside Park, our campus, which is right adjacent to that. We will have a small parade route, but we'll also be virtual. So keep an eye out, and I'll send the flyers to the board to let them know.
Jennifer has her hand raised.
Everyone, I wanted to point out there used to be a garbage can on the corner, like across the street by the church where we are, and it is gone. And every day when I come to work, I have McDonald's, I have pizza, just everything thrown in front of the center. Is there any way to get that garbage can to go back?
So I know they've been removing certain locations. Send me an email with the exact location, and I'll send it over to sanitation to get an update.
Right on the corner of East 161st in Westchester, like right under the train in front of the center.
Okay, just send me an email, please.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Madam Chair, I just want to quickly go over the announcements that we have here. So,
Sure, thank you.
I know that it was mentioned about Al Quiñones street co-naming. This is just a flyer for it, so people can visually see it. We have the precinct council meeting coming up next Thursday, June 3rd at 6:30. They'll send out the information to Zoom link for that. And I'm sorry, there's just a lot of background noise. I'm gonna have to start muting people here.
Can you mute a couple of people that keep popping up?
Yep.
Thank you.
And Rocking the Boat, you know, I know they had a presentation at the youth committee, but this is just their flyer. We're encouraging people to join Rocking the Boat, a really good program. And it's a good way of a different perspective of looking at the borough when you're on the river. And La Peninsula, you know, they gave us a presentation, and this is just their flyer. If anybody needs any of this information on the announcements, they can just email the office. We do have June's calendar also available. That's going to go up. Just everyone know we always meet the last Wednesdays, but in June we're going to meet on June 23rd. Just to keep it in line with the fourth Wednesdays of the month. And that's the announcements from the office. I don't know if anyone else has announcements.
Yeah, I wanted to say this when all the guests were gone. Unfortunately, during this meeting, we have to show respect towards each other. And twice I had to stop the meeting. People were being called names that they shouldn't be called. They should be respected. And in addition to that, someone cursed. that's not a reflection of who we are. If you want to say BS, the actual word or whatever, you do it on your own time. These meetings are to be respectful, and it's not a reflection of who we are because we have guests at this meeting, and that's not a reflection of who I am, and I don't want it to be a reflection of who you are. Please save your cursing for your own time, not during this meeting. The name calling for your own time. Respect our people that protect our community, that serve our community. We should not be calling them out of their name. So please be respectful. You don't want to be called out of your name. Do not call anybody else another name that's not theirs. So I just wanted to bring that because it's really, really upsetting and it's disrespectful.
Ralph?
Yes. Oh, Mr. Crespo, Chairman Crespo has his hand raised.
I first wanna echo the same words that Julia just finished stating. It's so shameful when you have guests and we hear certain words that are not acceptable language out there. It gives a bad reflection of what we are, and it is a real shame that I heard it, and if I heard it, and I'm all the way in Georgia, everybody else heard it. So I want to just say that I echo the same, and I want to thank Julia for doing a fantastic job. You're just great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're fantastic. Thank you.
No, but here's my only last words here is that come September, I am creating a senior citizens subcommittee that will be under the Health and Human Committee, and Julia and Jennifer have volunteered. I'm looking for more volunteers for that committee, and it'll be in September, and it'll be a subcommittee to the Health and Human Services Committee. We haven't discussed a date for their meetings. It'll probably maybe be before the meeting of the Health and Human Services, or we'll work something out. But our seniors need to be never forgotten. They can always clear the future for us because they already went through it from the past.
That's right.
So
Amen.
I want to thank again Julia for what she's done for the board for this meeting, and Jennifer, I hope you accept this assignment from me.
Of course, very excited.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Jennifer, yes.
And that's
Bobby,
Let's work together on it finally.
The truth is that you and I are headed that way. That's why we got to look out for the seniors. That was the truth.
Well, I'm already a senior. I'm 65, so
You got Jeffrey Korn who wants to be a part of it also, Chairman Crespo.
Okay, Jeffrey Korn, thank you very much, Jeff. Thank
Okay.
you.
So if
I
that
can do it too.
announcements, we got to go to roll call.
Somebody had an announcement?
Somebody else said they wanted to. Anybody that wants to, please
Me,
call.
Sandra.
Okay, Sandra. Okay, but anybody else that wants to be part of that committee, please contact Cynthia at the board, and she'll write your name down. And then when I get back to the city, which is the, next Tuesday, I'll sit down with Ralph and Cynthia and start looking at it with Julia.
Beautiful, beautiful, guys. Thank you. If that is all, then I'm ready for attendance.
I don't know
Yvonne?
if Secretary has access.
I'm here. Let's go.
Let's
All right.
go,
Good night, guys. When you hear your
Yeah.
name, please let me know that you are here.
Oh,
Elvis
my.
Austin Jr.,
Here.
Evelyn Arauz, Dove Bensecourt.
Good night.
Good night. Miles Burnett,
Good night. Thank you.
Luis Castillo, Paula Fields Conyers.
Good night and happy holidays.
Good night, everybody. Stephanie Cordero, Roberto Crespo,
Good night, everybody, and thank you for
Altagracia Cruz, Julia Cruz.
Here.
Julia, by the way, thank you for a role earlier. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome anytime.
Sandra De Jesus.
Here.
Kevin Ellison. Tanya Ferguson.
I'm
Pascal
here. I'd like to be
Gomez.
part of this subcommittee.
Kevin is also here, Madam Secretary.
Who? I'm sorry?
Kevin Ellison is here.
Okay, thank you. Pascal Gomez.
Squall's here.
Shataria McCoy.
Here, good night.
Good night. Alexandra Guadalupe. Jesse Harris. Shaquan Hunt. Jennifer Kelman.
Here, have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, Ralph.
Jeffrey Korn.
Here, and thank you, everybody.
LaShawn Lindsay.
I'm here. Good night,
Talia
everyone.
Talia Simone Twist.
Here.
Barbara Lopez.
Still here.
Roland Lopez.
Here.
Nicholas Mario. Luis Marrero.
Here, good night.
Cedric McClester.
Let me see.
Monique Menes. Reverend Moses.
Good night, y'all.
Yes, Reverend Moses is here. I raised off my hand to talk. Nobody called me.
I didn't see your hand at all, Reverend Moses. I apologize, but I did not see your hand.
Maggie Ortiz.
I will email you.
Good night. Good night. Larry Robinson.
Here.
Richard Sherman.
Here.
Viancy.
Here.
Maria Torres.
Here. Good night.
Good night. Marilyn Roten.
Harry's here. She's in the chat.
John Udu. Pastor John Udu.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good
Nice.
night. Be safe.
So we want to adjourn the meeting. We need someone to adjourn the meeting now. Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Oh.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Second motion.
Have a good night, everybody. Be safe.
Good night.
Good
night.
April.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Remember Memorial Day. Remember Memorial Day.